are you all doing? I hope you had an amazing Easter. Sorry I haven't read the last couple of chapters over the last couple of days, but chapter 8 today. Can you remember where we left off? It's been so long since we last read a bit, I am having trouble remembering. The Sally Bones' cats, didn't they? They took Jess away last time we read, so hopefully she's not in too much trouble. Chapter 8. In the crate, Varjak's heart was pounding. Sally Bones' gang had left the yard, but Jess was gone. Mrs. Moggs was sobbing, and it was all because of him. "Can't believe it," he whispered. "She's only a kitten. How could they do that?" "I know," said Holly. They sat in silence a while, in the darkness of the crate, with the smell of rotting fruit and the buzzing of the flies. "I'll miss Jessie," said Tam. "She was lovely. I remember when she was born." "You're talking about her like she's dead," said Holly. "It'd be better if she was dead. You know what they'll do to her. We're just lucky they didn't find us." "The only reason they didn't find us," said Holly, "is because Jess didn't give us away." She gave Varjak a long, hard look, her muttered eyes glowing fierce in the dark. Varjak looked down. He hadn't wanted trouble, but the trouble had found him anyway. The cats of the harbour yard had welcomed him, treated him like a hero. They'd stood up for him, and now Jess was gone, and he hadn't lifted a paw to stop it. He felt ashamed. "I can't let this happen," he thought. "But what can I do?" Something stirred inside him, something old and strong and buried deep. His power, deep inside him, like a spark, waiting to be struck. The power was waiting. He didn't want to use it. He was scared to use it. But what choice did he have? He took a deep breath. "I know why Jessie stood up for us," he said. "Tam, you told her I was a fighter. She believed you. She believed that if we escaped, we'd come back to help her." "Help her?" screamed Tam. "How? They've declared us outlaws. They'll be searching for us everywhere, and they've taken Jess to her territory. Her territory, Varjak." Her words made him shake. He remembered Sally Bones' ice blue eye, burning into his mind. The thin white cat, who also knew the way. I know, and I wouldn't ask either of you to come with me, but I've got something to do. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't." He tried to smile, to hold down the thrumming panic that clawed in his heart. "I'm going to follow them. I'm going to try and rescue her." "Well," said Holly, "we can't let him blunder in there on his own, can we, Tam?" Varjak looked up, hardly able to believe it. Holly winked at him, but Tam's tail was thumping behind her, thwacking the sides of the crate with alarm. "Have you gone completely mad?" she cried. "No one goes there if they can help it. No one." "Tonight it was Jess," said Holly evenly. "Tomorrow it could be you. Should we just forget about you and let them take you away next time?" "No, of course not, but what? In the end, they'll come for us all." Varjak wasn't shaking any more. Holly was coming with him. She understood. She always did. Tam gritted her teeth. "Oh, I hate you, Holly. I hate you both. I don't know who's worse. You're as mad as each other." "Right," said Holly. "So here's the plan. If we go after them now, they'll be on their guard. Better if we surprise them. I say we set out at dawn and follow their tracks. If we're lucky, we'll catch them sleeping, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have a chance of getting Jess out alive." "Agreed?" "Agreed," said Varjak. "Tam?" Tam bit her paws. "Of all the stupid things you've ever made me do," she muttered, "this is the all-time stupidest. It's totally insane. But you're not leaving me here on my own." "Oh, no, no way." "So fine, whatever you say, agreed." Varjak grinned. It was good to have his friends beside him. Whatever happened, he knew he could count on them. They came out of the crate into the open. It was freezing cold in the yard. The wind cut through his fur. The terror was still palpable in the air. He could smell it. The street cats were scared of Lucia Razor and the rest, but the threat of Sally Bones had terrified them most. They were strung out, broken up, defeated. Many of them had slumped to the ground in despair. A few were trying to comfort Mrs. Moggs. Varjak took a deep breath and went straight up to her. "What do you want now?" demanded old Buckley. "Hasn't there been enough trouble?" I'm sorry, he said quietly. Some fighter you turned out to be, sniffed Buckley. All that big talk. There was 10 of them, Mrs. Moggs cut in. Her whiskery face was crumpled and wet, but her eyes were still bright blue. No one could have stood up to them. It's not Varjak's fault. There's nothing anyone can do. Yes, there is, said Varjak. We're going to bring her back. They didn't answer. They stared at him as if he'd spoken in another language. We're going to bring her back, he repeated. Don't talk rubbish, hissed old Buckley. She's gone where no one can help her, and that's that. The wind howled through the harbour. Varjak shook his head. We can do it, he said. We're going at dawn. We're going to bring her back where she belongs. You don't understand, my dear, said Mrs. Moggs, whiskers trembling in the wind. They've taken her to Sally Bones's territory. No one comes back from there. For a moment, the street cat stared at Varjak, eyes glowing with uncertainty. Then they turned away. They went back to the pools of ice on the ground and the broken packing crates. No one spoke to him any more, or even glanced at him. He looked up to the darkening sky. It was going to be a long, cold night. Let's get some rest, said Holly. We're going to need it. She shut her mustard-coloured eyes and curled up into a spiky ball. Varjak and Tam curled up beside her and waited for the dawn. That's the end of chapter 8.